How you doing? My name is George, and you're watching the Northeast RC Racer podcast, and I'm here with my co-host, Toby Hampson.
Hello.
Tom Petrella.
Cheerio.
And last, definitely not
You
least.
say that when you're leaving.
Oh, is that what it is? That's leaving?
Yeah.
Oh,
yes.
Well,
Cheerio.
good day, mate.
That's better. Works better.
Woo! I'll get it eventually.
Yeah.
Well, we're back once again, to say the least. We had a great episode. Whoop, watch that hit the screen. Last episode, that was episode number 34, if I remember correctly. And we just want to say thanks very much to our guests, who were Benny and Ophir. I don't know if anybody out there had a chance to watch it, but I just did a little recap before we launched this episode. I think I watched about 15 seconds of it, and I was rolling.
Yeah, they were
Absolutely.
So Benny was an awesome guest. Great insight from that little kid. You know, we've seen him racing for a number of years, and he really, is driving spectacular, and his dad's right there along the way coaching him. And for those of you who might not find Ophir to be your best buddy at the track, it's a good way to see a different side of him for sure. And I'm sure you guys have your own opinion about that episode.
No,
I love it. Anytime we get to do these interviews, right? And I'm happy to have y'all spill the beans. Arturo Ruiz is going to be on later on. It's always good to get those deeper insights. Like, we talk at the track, but we're usually wrenching or something's going on. You don't always have a chance to really sit down in a relaxed atmosphere and chat with people. And I'd love seeing Ophir with Benny, how he tutors him, helps him out a good bit. And I think sometimes, whether it's Ophir, anybody, right? I think anybody can be misinterpreted sometimes when they see the passion somebody has, and they can look at passion, maybe see it as being overly competitive or whatever else might be. But it really does come down to passion. So I have to respect and appreciate that.
Plus it's that interesting angle where, like Benny came on the scene a few years ago, and he was a novice guy, and then clearly you could see him get faster and faster, and then probably to the point where he's overtaken his dad in speed and and everything. So his dad's kind of transitioned to being the fast racer to now being kind of like the traditional 40+ guy helping out his kid get faster and faster. So it's pretty cool, to
he's on the same path Mike Finari's on, right, with Colton.
Exactly.
But what's kind of cool, right, and I could say this as running a track, it's not always how you do, right? It's kind of watching other people succeed, and especially your kids. Oh, there's nothing better.
Yeah.
I guess, Vin, you can probably appreciate that too, right, buddy? You know what that's like with the boys.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Well, if you guys get a chance, definitely go out and see it. I'm talking to you, the viewers, and hit it with a thumbs up. Share that episode if it's your first one, and hit subscribe. We would appreciate it. We'll remind you guys of that at the end of the podcast. But other than that, currently it's winter time, not a lot going on. But I am actually going to pass it over to Tom, because he's probably got the most information to share with us currently about what's happening at his track. Not just because it's his track, but it's a huge endeavor for those of us that race in New Jersey. So take it away, Tom.
I appreciate it, George. No, I think a lot of people know from listening, and the support's been, I can't even find the right words for it. Amazing, humbling, astonishing of everybody in the community. So I think a lot of people are already aware, but it's a brief recap. We had a small indoor track at a country club in town in Hamilton. Sadly, there was a fire, caused a total loss to the building and to the track. Nobody's been hurt. Nobody got hurt. We lost a bunch of stuff, but that can all be replaced. And frankly, I thought it was done, and got very lucky with a local businessman who reached out to me not long after the fire, heard about what happened on social media, says, "Hey, I got a space I'm not utilizing. Would you be interested in it?" And we're going to have a new site that's going to be about 3 times, just the track area is 3 times larger. The overall size is probably 5 times larger than the current track we used to have. I got to give a huge shout out to the whole RC community. Has been amazing. I'm wearing my Team Associated hat today. Associated was awesome. We asked for donations from the different businesses and from individuals, and I'm already like at 125% of what my goal was. and Associated, they sent me 4 kits, which I waffled off, which might not be a bad idea for the podcast. We should waffle off a kit or 2 to help raise funds for the podcast, because there's a lot of demand for that. But, tracks coming together good. A lot of work putting it together, but I got a lot of help. If you guys don't mind, since I have the floor, and I'm not gonna, I'll be like in the government. I'm not gonna give up my speaking, but I want to give a shout out just to a few people who donated, and a lot of these people are not only racers, but they're other track owners, which kind of says a lot about the quality of people. But Brian Boyce at Jersey RC Promotions helped out. Rob Caruso, Tim Monty, Team Associated's been huge. We're gonna have a section of the track called the Team Associated Top Deck. LCRC, thank you, Krista. Krista was not only, helping me out financially and then made a great donation, which I'm appreciative of. I'm even more appreciative that, she took the time to guide me a bunch of different ways to find different ways to make this work. J Concepts as well, Jason Rona over at J Concepts. I mean, I reached out to him with some ideas just to get his perspective as a person in the industry, and he was extremely generous with his time. RC Misfits, Joe Polona, Toby Hampson, Toby 46 RC stepped up to help out. Enzo over at Park Lane Hobbies, Denny and Jen over at Area 52, and I could keep going on. I don't want to read through the whole list, but to me, it meant a lot that not only do I have a lot of individual support, but support of the industry, whether it's other tracks, manufacturers. It says a lot about it, and I think we're gonna build back better than ever. Excited for the future. Pardon my rambling.
You're all good.
So we're almost there. We're hopeful. I'm not sure we're going to release this one. I initially told people December 13th was going to be my targeted start date, but we're far enough along thanks to the help of people like Mike Green, Vic Alvario, Mike Van Horn. We got the carpet down. We got the driver's stand built. All the tables are built. Rob Caruso was there this weekend, helped me out building tables. So we've got a lot accomplished. We're going to beat it. We're going to be ready in 2 weeks, guys. November 25th will be our first indoor race.
George, mute your phone.
I am already on it. Of course, it was a double text, right? It wasn't just the single. Tommy, so excited, man. Can't wait. I already I spoke to anybody know Tom Baffer?
Yep.
Well, yeah.
So Tom Baffer, been hanging out with him this past summer,
Okay.
and a little bit, and he and his son are interested. So I led him your way, Tom, because that was my question in the group the other day when I was asking where some of the indoor off-road racing up in North Jersey, and there obviously isn't much other than critters. So he's going to travel down with his son and check it out. And I know a whole bunch of people are going to come out for your opening race. You might even see me there, Carlos, just to support your ass.
I'll sponsor you. I got a stadium truck and a associated buggy for you, whatever one you want.
Ooh. Charge those batteries, Tommy. Charge those batteries.
No worries.
That's going to be super exciting. Toby, Vin, you guys got anything else going on recently you want to share?
I'm just grabbing a drink right back.
I hung out with Toby yesterday.
Sorry about that.
It's not. We had a blast, man.
Yeah, that's all right. I just, I got a lot to learn about carpet off-road racing, but I enjoy it. Practice is a lot of fun, but when it comes to racing, I just lose my shit.
Everything happens too fast in carpet. That's the problem. I was like,
so fast.
If I overreact, like in dirt, if I countersteer too much or overreact, the lack of traction keeps me honest, right? I can't really hurt myself too much.
You kind of bullshit your way out of it. Carpet is just like you're on the edge,
Exactly.
And
so it's really important to look at your car and see what it's doing. If you're traction rolling, there's a couple of different things, and we can always have a section go over that. But you have to look and see, is your car rolling enough or is it not rolling enough? So you really have to learn how to set up a car, and that's why wintertime is a great time to do it.
Vin, did
I'm
you
just
see?
hanging on for dear life. I can't look at how the car's doing. I'm just trying to prevent myself from driving to a pole.
You joined a little late, Vin. Did you see what my car was doing?
Oh, actually, I did because you guys were talking about it. Yeah, I saw you had some extra.
Well, Toby, you got to put a picture up now in case someone's watching us later on YouTube. He's got to see it.
I was trying to pull it up, and now I'm like, oh, where'd it go?
He had a little extra
I see it down here on the bottom.
in the front.
There you go. It was doing that.
Oh my God, both sides.
Is that a
Adam said it well. You were looking for that extra steering. You were going for the
and the actual shock mount was broken too. So like it was like a hell of a lot of flex on the front of that car. But that's my excuse for driving abysmally. But
yeah, we'll get that thing fixed and meet me on a Tuesday. Trains and Lanes Hobbies, and hopefully, if Tom lets me, I'll come down and do some coaching at Rhythm RC as well. I know he does over there as well, right? You help a lot of people out, I'm sure, Tom.
That's the beauty of it. But I'd always take your advice. Trust me.
Cool. We'll work together. That'd be cool.
I got to get a copy of Aiden and Dylan's setup too. I like to stick those up on the wall up there for other people. You know, it might not be for my track. It'll at least get them somewhere as a jumping off point.
Yeah. Aiden and I can definitely put up setup sheets, and I'd be happy, more than happy, honored actually to do that for you. And so let me know when that thing opens up. We're there.
Awesome.
Toby, you got anything going on with 46 RC since other than you and Vinny singing Kumbaya together yesterday?
Not a whole lot. There's a race coming up in a couple of weeks at Park Lane. Been doing a lot of work with those guys. So I did a 28 scale race, my first one in beginning of October, which kind of blew my mind away. I was like, wow, it's like a whole thing I didn't even know it existed. Huge 28 scale track down there. The SRA 28 organization, trying to kind of pull together like a standardized group of classes, which was really cool to kind of experience. And of course, I just dumped about $500 or $600 into building a car. So I got an RC28, which, being that I'm 55, I can barely actually focus on it because the screws are like less than a millimeter. The ones for the links, they're like a hair. It's retarded. So I built one of those, and then I did they had an on-road race, did some 12 scale down there, and then there's a race coming up December 7th. I'm actually going to be down in South Carolina for Fall Brawl, but Lucas, my son's going to be up there, hopefully running the camera. Well, he better be, otherwise I'm going to kick his ass. That's Saturday, December 6th. So that's the next thing coming up for me. And then hopefully 27th of December, I'll be down there at Tom's track.
Sweet. Vin, what about you? Anything going on with Team Associated? Anything new in your program or anything launching, et cetera, et cetera?
I am working on something really, really, really cool. And I can't talk about it yet. I'm sworn to secrecy, but it's going to be amazing.
Is it another RC Team Associated re-release by any chance?
No, I have no idea about any of those. And that is, who knows what they're going to release next, man.
Can you re-release the SC8? That was a fucking great truck.
I know.
Yeah,
Tell me about it. I am down. Please, AE, if you're listening, all of us want that thing back. So I hope they do. But listen, their vintage program, like putting all those cars out there, I'm going to tell you, and the parts are available too. They've started a whole new thing with vintage, number one. And since you brought it up, vintage, they just had a big race in Vegas, huge vintage, and all the guys were there. I mean, if you guys can just throw it a like on YouTube and check it out if you're into the vintage stuff. Very cool that you can, all these kits are available. I remember, a lot of the stuff coming out, and, it's just cool to see. So, vintage is back, and it's actually helped them produce their on-road, category. So, that's why you're seeing a lot of on-road cars come back, because, that's a big part of the heritage of RC.
Absolutely.
That vintage race was awesome, man. I caught a whole bunch of racing.
Yeah, that was insane. It's awesome.
Very cool.
I'm ready, but I can't run this thing. This is an original 84.
It's too nice. Oh, look at that chassis. Yeah, no way.
I'm afraid to drop it on the ground and scratch the chassis.
You got to buy a re-release and run that one.
I should. I didn't know the RC probably need a hone head. I'm not sure if my wife's going to go for one more, but
I don't know if it's going to work on carpet either. You think it'll work on carpet, Tom?
Who cares? It'll look cool.
Agreed.
Where'd you find that thing, Tom?
Actually, one of my local racers found it. He had a buddy his that had it and started building it back in the 80s and never finished it.
Nice.
I sold it to me. I haven't done yet. I still got to put the old wiper speed control in there. But
There you go.
I have it. I just got to put it in there.
Yeah, I have one on the shelf too. Hey, let's take a moment to run a quick ad for one of our sponsors, Nitro Caddy. Guys, got a minute? So if you guys haven't checked out nitrocaddy.com, Dennis Brew out there has been a longtime supporter of the podcast. He has a new product that I guess is relatively new now, the Bump Master. A lot of us guys have been running it in the Northeast, and hopefully starting to spread out in the RC community. Actually, Dennis is supporting the Folk Brawl coming up now in a couple of weeks' time. He's one of the, I don't know if he's platinum level or silver, whatever. He's up there supporting the effort down there. He's been traveling down there. He's going to be there on site with the Bump Master. So you guys should check it out. I'm just going to quickly run the ad here so you guys can see what's going on.
It's a starter box adapter plate. I got tired of the pins moving on me with the boxes. And what this plate does is it affixes the four corners of your chassis to the starter box.
So yeah, a couple of awesome products from Dennis there. The that bump plate you put on top of your starter box there, it's a no-brainer now. No moving around with your pins. Car's always gonna, fit right on your starter box. And then the that little stop stick he has is great. You can put it in your pocket, and then when your guy comes in, you can just shut him down real quick. Or if there's a flame out, you can just put that sucker right on the flywheel or the pipe, and just shut that engine down. So.
I got to get one of those stop sticks. That's like one of my biggest fears as a runaway. Like,
yeah.
And I tell myself, all right, if I'm marshalling and a runaway happens, carefully get the body off, rip the fuel lines off, whatever. But having a stop stick in my pocket is a much better option. Not to mention, I'm kind of getting tired of hitting the flywheel when I pit somebody and keep it in my pocket and be done with it. So
yeah, even when they just come in from a run, you can just put that out and just shut them down without tearing the skin off your thumb. So. Especially if they come in lean bargain and then it's like, and you can just stick it right on there.
Sounds like Navosa's car every time he comes in.
Hey,
by the way, Dennis Brew came down. I was down at AMS. Dennis Brew shows up down at AMS. He's not even running. He came down on Nitro Caddy business.
Just came down for promotion.
It was good to see him, man.
Right there, yep.
Good show. Good turnout. Did you have fun?
AMS? Absolutely awesome. I don't want to advertise it too much so it sells out even sooner, but one of the best events, if not the best event I've ever been to. I used to love Blue Ridge, but track time galore, layout was a blast. I went down with Big Mike and had a chance to hang out with a lot of the Sparko guys. Schreffler was there and Johnny Blaze, a bunch of other guys. But awesome track. Met some really, really cool people. I don't know if I'll ever hear this. Lewis Chamberlain was a guy I met there locally, was pitting for me. He helped me pit the whole weekend, and he has won the Baja 1000 5 years in a row.
Wow.
Really cool dude to talk to. And I love Mike Ream when he's my pit guy, but Lewis was awesome too. Like I'm in a 45-minute main in about 20 minutes. He's like, all right, I want you to wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers a little bit, bend your knees. You got a little bit longer to go. Like super calm on the radio the whole way. Because I'm the other way. I'm like a kid that's had way too much sugar and caffeine, and he's like a very calming voice. But yeah, if anybody's looking for a good event to get down to, they limit the entry count. Track time galore. We ran 2 rounds of practice, 1 round of seeding on Thursday. Friday was 3 rounds of qualifying. Saturday was Super Pole, which was all 10 minutes for everybody. And then they ran the lower mains. George will like to hear this. All the nitro mains were at least 30 minutes. The A mains were 45 minutes, but the electrics were all double 10s, except for the A's, which were triple 10-minute mains. So they get time galore. So hats off to Lance and crew and everybody that ran super smooth. Really, really cool event. And the service was awesome.
Cool, man. That's good to hear. Giving electric guys good value for their money.
They did, awesome. Absolutely. Everybody got good value.
Yeah, well. Hey, big shout out, and then we'll move on to our guest, Jason Schreffler, right? At AMS, crushed it.
Yeah, absolutely. Killed it. And he had to do it the hard way at first in E-Buggy. He didn't win the first one. He did TQ both of them, but he had to come back in the second too and did it. And
nice.
He was solid all weekend, and thanks to him, if he ever listens to this, he was awesome in helping us. Hey, tire prep, do this, do that. You know, you guys all know Schreff. I mean, he's probably the closest person I have that I'm close to that could be a pro, and he is one of the nicest guys, if not the nicest guy in RC. He's awesome that way, and he'll help anybody with any car. So just good people, and happy to see good people do well.
Sure. I second that. One of the nicest guys in RC. Super helpful. Yep.
All right. Well, with that being said, Toby, would you like to introduce our guest?
Yeah, speaking of nice guys.
Who? Arturo, by any chance? This guy?
What's up, man?
What up, Arturo?
Welcome, buddy.
Thank you. Honored.
Honor's ours, buddy. It's a privilege to have you, man.
Yep.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you.
for those of you who don't know, Arturo is not only a fellow A-scale racer, but I believe dabbles in some 10-scale. I guess he's got some motorcycle history as well. But, you know, more importantly than all that, if you've ever met Arturo at the track, he's just a super nice guy. Give you the shirt off his back. He's an awesome racer, knows the etiquette of racing, you know, by far, right? Never typically ever have a problem with him on the track. Super smooth. Seen him improve over the last couple, I would say 2 seasons dramatically. He's always fighting on top of the box position, and he's here finally on the podcast. Arturo, what's up?
What's up, guys? What's up? Thank you for those kind words, man. I mean, I'm trying.
He's my LCRC neighbor now. He sits next to me, the poor guy.
Yeah. You know, I deal with a lot of Toby's spillovers. You know, so my table gets cut in half a lot of the time at LCRC. But yeah, it's all good, man. And being up there has been a game changer, by the way.
Yeah.
Does Toby just come like drop shit on your table? He's like, I don't have time to do this. Can you fix it? I'll be back.
No. It's more of like I'm gluing tires, and like the old tires are on my side, and the new tires are on his side when he's like working. But they'll be just left there, you know. You know, so I got like a stack of Toby's like used tires and my used tires together now.
Last time I sprawled the other way into Colin's pit because he wasn't there, so I had his whole table with all my shit on. So you got spared that last time. So
that's true. That's true.
Carry on.
So does he label his tires? Look, so finders keepers. I'm a tire. Yeah. I'm a tire holder. So
you don't want any of my tires.
They're mine. I'm relabeling them and everything. As long as they're J concepts.
Yeah. Well, mine aren't. I wish, but not yet.
Hey, Arturo. So we all know you pretty well, but for those people who don't, why don't you give us a little bit about your background? Let's say how you got into RC, and a little bit about why you race. Then we can talk about how you race, the type of racer you are out there, and what some of your goals and aspirations are in this great hobby.
Yeah. All right. So it all started on 108 square mile island, Antigua. I think it was like we'll call it like late 80s, early 90s, I got my first RC car. So it was a Yokomo YZ10. Pretty much didn't know anything. I mean, like anything that we had to get for RC cars down there, it was basically, well, you call a family in New York or Florida, and they send it to you whenever family goes up to the States to get stuff, or when we were going to Puerto Rico or something like that. So we'd get like stuff, but basically it was a lot of like epoxy resin to fix like arms and stuff like that because we just didn't have access to parts. But it was all bashing. And then I guess like fast forward to later on in life, like I got into like on-road cars, but like basically just like driving around the parking lot. I think you guys familiar with Floyd Bennett Field? So they used to have an on-road track there, and I don't know if you guys remember Chester. Asian dude, but big into like the on-road scene. I went there like a couple times, but I mean I totally sucked. It was it was terrible. So I just stuck to the parking lots, just running up and down and stuff like that. Then kind of got out of it. And then years later, like because I used to cycle a lot. The guy that built my bikes for me, Jonathan Blyer from the bike shop. He had a Team Associated shirt on one day. I was like, how do we what do you know about Team Associated? And he's like, what do you know about Team Associated? I'm like, how do we not have this conversation like years ago? So he got me back in. This is like I want to say I'm going into my 4th 10 scale season, but been doing the 8 scale for 3.5. He got me back into the carpet stuff at Traction Action out in Long Island. So my first car back into it was like a B64 or something like that. 63. I can't remember. But ever since then, I've been hooked. And then he's like, well, you got to do the 8 scale stuff. And I'm just like, 8 scale stuff? What's that? Like the only 8 scale I know about off-road was like the Burns, the Kyosho car. I didn't know anything about like Infernos or anything like that, but he got me back in. And at the time, I just jumped in like everything, and just was all over the place. Didn't know anything about setup or anything like that. But like, as I went, I started reading like there's this book that I got on Amazon, and then Visible Speed. I took the course, and then just ask a whole bunch of questions to people and throw in ideas. Like Vin's been very helpful. Mike Colton's dad's been very helpful. Sitting up front with these guys, Toby, Taylor, Alex, all these guys, Jason, very, very, very helpful. And that's basically my RC history there. So it's the past, I wouldn't say 3.5 seasons, but this season I want to say like things are definitely coming together, because I made my first 2 A mains at LCRC. The first one was the cancer race for the buggy, and then the Halloween race I only brought trucks. So I made the A for the truggy also. So it's starting to come together. I'm gonna say like the Invisible Speed, the course, it was great, but the thing is like there's a practical part of it, right, where you have to like go out and test. And I feel like that's how I treat my racing now. Like I test everything, and I don't worry about fast lap times. I worry about like I need to keep my consistency 95% and above for each run. And those things, like once I just started like really focusing on that, like I started making intermediate A mains. So I'm gonna keep that sort of thing like moving forward for the carpet stuff this season, and for the 8 scale next season. That's basically my RC history. I'm pretty new.
That's a really good point, though, right? Just for everybody. I don't know why I never even thought of myself, right? But as you say that, don't focus on lap times, focus on maintaining consistency. Like your goal at the end of the race is to have 95% consistency. Do that, you're going to get more than your fair share of A mains.
Yeah.
So that's really good advice, Arturo.
And even a prelude to that, you want to make sure you can put your car wherever you want on the track. And when you can do that, you know you have a car that you can potentially win with. But that's the first step. And we'll talk about things like staying on the race line. Anyway.
Yeah, race line is super important. Like I'm coming from like Yep. I'm coming from on-road background with like when it comes to like racing motorcycles, but I grew up with dirt bikes in the Caribbean.
Nice.
That's why I'm sure, Vin, we've been at many tracks together, especially if you were at CCS races.
Mm-hmm.
We were definitely together, but we just never bumped heads.
So yes, an associated shirt, and then we would have, had that conversation.
Exactly. And yeah, I don't know. Like for me, etiquette's very important because I'm coming from a real race scenario. Like you're sure we got like we have corner workers that have flags and stuff like that. We don't have that in RC. But you can feel like when somebody's faster than you. And usually if you just give me like 1, 2, maybe 3 corners, I'll get out the way. You know what I mean? Like, because I don't want to slow anybody up or ruin their race for them. It's I know what a blue flag means. But yeah, that's basically my RC history.
It's pretty cool history. You're the only person that I think we've interviewed that talked about racing that brought up, let's say, Live RC's consistency meter, right? I think that's so important. Like like Tom just said a few minutes ago. But nice, Tom, nice. That was almost too much to handle. But yeah, dude, like Tom said, you can keep it at that percentage, the good things are going to happen for sure. And, you just keep your mind off certain things. I guess, for lots of racers, right? Some of their probably best races or best lap times or best performance could theoretically be before the announcer called their name to say how good they were doing, right? Where they weren't thinking about where they were or how hard they were driving, right? Because they were just in that zone, just trying to fight for that, that rhythm, as Tom was bringing up in his background, right? But I think that obviously that's a big key across the board.
Yeah, I also one of the things I like about the invisible speed thing is like they talk about a lot of mindset and like focus, and these are all things that like I that resonate with me because like one of the things they have you do is juggle for hand eye, and they tell you to like juggle, but don't just do it by yourself. Like have like conversations with people to like be able to like keep like your focus and stuff like that, and then go do VRC. I mean, I don't have a lot of time to do VRC.
You're right.
But I do like whenever I'm with clients or anything like that, I'll grab like 2 lacrosse balls and you got to squat a little bit deeper. Come on, push a little bit more weight. Let's go.
I think that helps the juggling for sure. I actually have a couple of golf balls in my pit bag. So like if it's a long period in between heats or races, or it's a long day, right, where your eyes aren't keeping that, distance focus, I thought that was good. I actually picked it up, I think, from some younger racers that were doing very well in racing that were doing that. And I think that's like an F1 kind of trick and other racing. So it's pretty
absolutely cool. It's in all sports. And for motocross, we do the same thing. We do juggling. You throw in an extra ball. In fact, there's a whole group of exercises that, like that pump your coordination for motocross, at least, that I'm sure cross right over to RC. And you see how fit Arturo is, and that definitely helps keep the mind sharp. So something to be said about diet, nutrition, focus, and coordination. Absolutely. Right on.
Aussie guys are known for that, right?
What's that, Tobe?
Aussie guys are known for diet and nutrition.
Yeah. That 90% of the RC community does not follow Arturo's regimen. It's all right though. Good peeps nonetheless.
It's really not that difficult. Like I know what you guys think I do, but it's the total opposite. It's just more moderation. Like, I'm right there with you guys right now. It's all moderation, and I guess everybody's different. Everybody's different, but it's not as hard as what's made out to be. It's not like I call it Biggest Loser style, where you're just starving yourself and killing yourself. That's like total opposite of what you have to do. I don't want to get too deep into that, but because it's an RC car podcast, right? But I'm gonna say, like, there's a lot of nonsense on the internet, as you guys may already know, for everything.
Say that again.
Well, the good news is if you want to get in shape and kick it up a notch, definitely hit Arturo up on the side channel. He could definitely help you up. That's I believe the business he's in. But like you said, getting back to dirt and RC cars. So your racing's come up dramatically over the last couple of seasons. I hear some of the principles that you're talking about. What are the things that you found?
Well, now, could somebody describe this? Toby, you got to describe it now so that when people are listening on Apple Podcasts, they can understand what we're all giggling at.
You have to check out the podcast to see
Basically, it's a comparison of somebody that goes to the gym, someone that rides a bicycle, and someone that races RC cars. 3 guys with their shirts off. Let your imagination do the rest.
Oh, that's so good, Toby. That was great.
Hey.
So, Arturo, what is it? Other than the consistency, what have you really been working on that you think's really improved your game out there? Is it like, focusing on trying to have a battle with somebody and just keeping it together, or is it just trying to pick up corner speed as an example? Something that you're introducing more and more that you're focusing on?
Yeah. So battles for me don't really exist. Because I feel like every time I get into like a battle, I get into trouble because then I start to push too much. I'm all about like keeping it 75%. 75% I can be super consistent with, right? And like, sure, if it's for the win, I'll push. But if it's just like a normal race, I will just focus on like hitting all my lines. And if someone comes up, like, I won't give the position up, but I'm just going to say, if they're super aggressive, I'll let them go. And I'm going to say 8 out of 10 times that I've done that, 2 corners later, they wrecked. And I was past them anyway. And they weren't even a problem afterwards. So what I'm really trying to focus on, I'll be honest with you, is setup. Like, making the car do what I need it to do, or feel the way that I want it to feel, having the balance that I want. That's basically what I've been focusing on. Like, there's certain things that I do have problems with, like the escalators at LCRC. Like, I don't have the timing yet, I think, for that stuff. So I want to learn that also. I can't hear you, Tom.
I said nobody had that 6-pack figured out. Don't feel
no.
Yeah.
No.
So like I feel like the throttle control for those kind of things are what I want to work on. But ultimately, like setup. Like, I want to be. I'm okay with it, and I'll usually ask questions to folks about stuff, just to either tell me you're so far off base, or yeah, you're on the right track. like if I want more steering, if I want traction, if I want the car to have more on power steering, that kind of stuff. Because I struggle to LCRC with that sweeper. Like I'd like to get the car to the point where I don't have to lift to go through the sweeper. You know, I just want to get it pointed and take it. And I guess part of that is like lines, because we all know off-road lines are way different than on-road lines, especially with 2 wheels versus 4. So I feel like those are the things. Setup, and that's the biggest thing. Setup and just getting to more races, I'm going to say, so that I can practice more.
Sweet, good answer. I got plenty of questions, but I'm going to give them some time to Tommy and Toby and Vin.
Well, I know Arturo pretty well, but I mean, one thing I just want to give Arturo credit for, right? His program is usually on point. Just like he, you know, I think Colton talked about this and it really resonated with me, and I think I see Arturo do it. Like Arturo, I guess as the saying is, right, to finish first you must finish, and Arturo's program's on point, right? His cars always run. I never really see a flame out. You know, he's prepared and ready, and I think that gets him in a good spot. Very interesting to hear you say, you know, you're driving at 75%. That's sort of my problem. I try to drive overboard thinking that extra little squeeze of the trigger is going to save me all sorts of time or make me all sorts of time. And in turn, you miss the turn and you blow out and you lose, give it all back. So, you know, really good stuff. I love your approach that, hey, you're building on it, right? Each one's a building block to the next step. So kudos to you. And
yeah,
I'm always impressed. I always say that to you anyway. I give Arturo, I'm tough on Arturo at my track. If he ever loses his patience, I'm like, Arturo, too many people look up to you, buddy. You do too good of a job that you set a hell of an example for a lot of racers. So
thank you, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, you know, speaking about like my equipment, like you know, for me, maintenance is key. Like after every, like whenever I go to your track or LCRC, like the cars get completely ripped down. I mean, and bearings come out, the whole 9 yards, hinge pins, everything comes out and gets rebuilt. Like it looks like a brand new car every time I start at the track. But yeah, funny story.
I've been witness to that.
Yes. Funny story. The Halloween race, right? I go out to for the A main for Truggy, and I start the car, right? And my remote trigger broke.
Got to be a fly sky.
But it is.
Ah,
yes.
shocker.
Yeah, my remote trigger broke, so I had to run back to the pits, and I grabbed like
a Samwa.
No, I grabbed the tire glue with some zip kicker.
No way.
I grabbed the tire glue with some zip kicker, and I glued it back on, and it held, but it wasn't getting to like 100% throttle because there was probably like a
dab of glue,
a lot of glue like around where so it wouldn't finish, right? So I didn't notice that. Like I was just like, great, it's working, you know. I didn't look at the remote to see that it was only getting like 78%. So I'm like, why is this engine isn't revving out? So I leaned it out more. And then my marshal my pit guy drops me, and the car just like stalls in the beginning for the start. I was just like, oh, it's gonna be one of those days. But it was fine. I was just like, all right, it's 25 minutes. It's your first Truggy A main. Just drive and have a good time. No. So that's what I did. But yeah, equipment maintenance is key to keep it running.
Well, I think that keeps the anxiety away, right? Just that's one less thing you have to consider as you're driving. Like I don't know, I would have been a train wreck if the trigger broke. And I just hit it with CA glue and zip kicker. But I might actually drive better. I tell myself I have to drive more cautiously because I don't want to break the trigger off. But
yep, that's exactly what I was doing. I was like, don't go all the way to the end. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Are Fly Skies known for triggers breaking? Is that how you knew, Toby?
Yes, I've
Oh
seen
my God.
several posts about it. There was some guy, I don't know
Wow.
who it was, just posted it. Oh, it was the guy who owns Dialed RC, the tires.
Ah,
He was just
Gene.
yes,
Yeah.
Gene Heggerson or whatever.
Yes.
He just was in a main or something, and his trigger broke in the middle of it. And
Oh,
he had to drive with like a little stump on there, but then
I
there
didn't
was
have
a
a
whole
stump.
no stump.
No stump.
Well,
Yeah.
I feel bad for the throttle one. I was racing one time. The spring went in the radio for the steering,
Yeah.
so you couldn't find center. So like you're so used to having that little notch where you're like, all right, I know where center is. That's a challenging one too. But
Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah, back in
in an A main, by the way, too. Won't happen in a qualifier. Won't
no,
happen
no.
anywhere else.
No.
Only in a main.
It was the Spectrum. I was a Spectrum 5 something 5C, whatever the fuck it was. We were all running that Spectrum radio.
DX5C,
And
yeah.
Yeah, and then they all brought the DX6 out, and ooh, that's cool because it had a little Android screen on it and a little charging base, but the triggers were snapping everywhere. Amongst the other thing that when you put it on the base, it would never charge. Like it was, and then you go out to race and it would just switch off. Either it would switch off or the trigger would break. And quickly enough, we got rid of those. So, but it was kind of a, bring about nightmares of that thing.
Yeah.
So I have a couple
So
questions
what's
for
been one of your
Arturo.
favorite events you've gone to? Where do you like to race? What is your top spots?
Well, dude, you know, I mean, I race at 2 spots only. Just because I like the efficiency at these places. Your track. I'll always go to your track. I'll be at the carpet place too.
Cool.
My thing is like with your other track. The only reason why I didn't go was because I only have mod carpet cars. And I think you never ran mod there, right? It was just
Not that old truck. You would never have anything to wind out for a round of space.
Yeah. And then LCRC, like I made it my business to make it to every single LCRC race this year. And hands down, like I think that's why I got better. Like just going to that track and those features and those people. And at your track too, because it's sort of like I want to say it's the same folks that go to LCRC, really. With some a little bit of sprinkle of Pennsylvania folks, and then you got those fast guys that come down there too. Those the Walkers, the Sonalis, the Dan Rosses, those guys too. I mean, I don't really see them at LCRC, but those guys are fast.
Tom's got a whole crew of secret weapon guys down there.
Yeah, he does.
Arturo was one of my secrets, and then he expanded. I was trying to hide him.
Yeah. Yeah, but those are basically I'll pop into the barn every now and again, like when I have a lot of time on Sunday.
You need a lot of time.
Yeah, when I have a lot of time on Sunday, I'll pop into the barn because I love seeing those guys like the Corey Williams, the Omar O's, the Big Cushes of the world. I like seeing all those guys. And then sometimes I'll make the trains. I'll make a trains appearance as well. So I'll go all the places, but my main focus is like when I see your schedule and LCRC schedule, because the thing is like it's usually like conflicting too. Like I'll usually, if I go to your race on a Saturday, that gives me like Sunday to recover. And then if LCRC is next week, I can get things done on Sunday, so that I'll be ready for the week of LCRC. But if I go to like a Sunday race, it's real hard to like recover to go to LCRC or something like that. But I made it my business this year to go to every race, and I'll do the same thing like next year too. And trains, I'm going to say I went once this year. Their track was like when I went, it was great. I had a blast there, but it's always like scheduling for me. And I'll be honest with you, if it's my choice where trains has a race this week, but you're racing next week, Tom, I'll go to your track. I'm not gonna like kill myself. I don't have that much time to get the cars prepped.
Oh yeah, we're all trying to find that balance.
Yeah.
How about your favorite class to run? I know you're running. I mean, I see you at e-buggy now, which is definitely a shocker for me to see. So I thought you would never go any electric. But
I
do you have a
do
favorite
that.
class right now?
Yeah, I mean, so Truggy is my favorite class, right? Truggy is my favorite, but we all know Buggy is where all the glory is. And I started running electric this year just to get more track time. You know, just to get a little bit more track time. I mean, I like running one. I like the principle of one car because less maintenance. But I just want to get like a little bit more track time. So I'll run like the E stuff now.
Okay.
Especially at LCRC when there's like 30 quals and you're like just sitting
There's
in the
30 heats.
car.
Yeah, you're trying to.
Yeah.
It's a lot of downtime.
Yeah, I'll do like an Ironman there. I'll walk with 2 cars and do 4 classes.
Brett Butter style.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, man, those are the days.
Shout out to Brett Butters. Miss you, buddy.
Yeah, he was one of our early guests. So.
Is he still in RC?
No.
He's not, but we're working on him slowly but surely.
Okay.
Good guy.
Okay.
Really good.
He's all in or nothing. That's his unfortunately.
Yeah.
He couldn't come run one class. I think
he
when
was
he
his
turns
own.
40, he'll want to run 6 classes if he can.
He's his own worst enemy. Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
You could tell by his for sale list. I mean, the guy looked like a hobby store. He had inventory.
Boxes and boxes and boxes of tires and yeah.
Vinny,
So,
you got some questions?
Yeah. What kind of dirt bike did you ride back in the day?
So Honda
Nice.
CR 125.
Yeah.
Well, started off like first like remember those Yamaha big wheels?
Yep.
Yeah.
And they
Fat
had
cats. What do
like
they call fat cats?
yeah. So
Yeah.
it was like 3 gears, no clutch. Like started off on that. Then we got what I get an XR80. That was just too slow. Then I got a CR80. And then, I was that was a crazy bike, that CR80. And then I got a CR125 into a 250, and then I went XR 500. So that was back in the days, but recently, I'm going to say like 2018, 2017, 2018, like I got back into like dirt bike stuff. And I got a KTM. It was a EXCF 350. I liked it because I was able to like use it in Brooklyn. I just put supermoto wheels on it.
Awesome.
And I would just like flash through because like 2 wheels are the fastest way around New York City. But I would also like go up to Middletown. And there was like a motocross track there, and then you got Jersey Field of Dreams.
Yep.
So I would take that. I would take like the it was a dual sport bike. I would take that
you took that on the motocross track at FOD.
I've never done that one. No. Oh wait. Yeah, Field of Dreams. Field of Dreams. Yes.
Yeah.
I've done that. Yeah.
The motocross track
Yeah.
with a cross country bike.
Yeah.
And cross country suspension.
Yeah, but the 350.
No, well, it didn't have cross country suspension. Like, let's put
pretty close to a motocross bike. It's just barely legal.
Okay, gotcha.
Well, no, yeah. Exactly. It just had it was a 4-stroke with lights. Let's put it like that.
Oh, that's awesome.
You still have the bike, Arturo?
No, I got rid of all my bikes. My kid's in college now.
I know the feeling.
I got rid of all my bikes. My kid's in college now. So yeah, I would do that. I would do like Field of Dreams. And that place in Middletown. I can't remember what the name of it was. But I would do that. But also I would take that bike to the track too and put the supermoto wheels back on.
Yes. Have you gone up to New York Safety Track?
Oh yeah, that place is not safe.
Supermoto. So my buddy, one of my other coaches, and anyone who's done track days or whatever with a couple different groups that I was part of, but his name is Ryan Doniger. So Ryan and I would swap bikes, or he'd be like, I'm sitting out a session and I'd ride his 450, and that thing on Safety Track was a monster, and it was so much fun. I mean, I
you
get
just
smoked on the
pins.
straightaway, but everywhere else, I'd catch all those big bikes, no problem. Leading that thing over, wheelies coming out of every turn.
Yep.
Loved it. That was the most fun. That's a great track. So shout out to New York Safety Track and all the cool guys that are up there that I'm friends with.
Yeah. Let's give these guys some background. Like the front straight is also a landing strip for the owner's plane. So during between heats, like you'd see like a plane take off and land sometimes.
During lunch. Yeah. So, and he'll do like barrel rolls, backflips, to put on a little show for us, like a halftime show in the middle of our track day. And it's just like, what place is better than this? It was really, it's awesome. It's awesome.
I mean, it was bare bones too. Like there was like no paddocks, right? So no garages or anything like that. Like you're camping.
Yep.
You're camping there. Some folks had like trailers, but like they were like up front. But again, nothing extravagant. Like I used to go there with like Ducati New York a lot because they were like big. What was the name of the Russian guy, right? What was his name? Do you remember? He was a funny guy.
Which
you remember
one?
his
briefing?
Greg. The owner,
Greg.
The blonde Greg, yeah.
And he has his brother. I forgot his brother's name. And then the dad was the one in the plane that you'd see doing.
So
all
I'm going to interrupt with Dos Vidania because the three of us are falling asleep with the motorcycle talk. So Arturo, what would you say, since you've had a lot of experience in motorcycles, what would you say your experience in motorcycles, riding or racing, parlays into your RC racing?
Yeah, that's a great question. So there's a few things that you need to set up to drive well, right? Like you got to have brake markers. You got to have your turn-in points. You got to have your apex, and you got to have your corner exit, and you got to like connect all your dots, right? That for me is super important. And then also like setting up passes. You know, like you got to know when a door is closing. You got to know when a door is opening. And to me, in RC, that does not exist. And the reason why it doesn't exist is because they're not in the car, right? So they'll lunge from way back when, like, and they'll make contact with you.
No way.
Right? That's what's called that's called the closing door. Yeah. Where if they just like wait for me to turn in a little bit later, right? I'm gonna go wider than them, and they can go inside on that corner for me. That's the opening door, right? And just setting passes up for me translates and getting around the track like translates from that stuff to this.
Explain your brake marker for some people that might have heard it.
Yeah,
I'm serious.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Wait, there's brakes?
Yeah, exactly. We don't need. When I hear people tell me I don't drive with brakes, I'm like, really? I don't understand that.
Yeah, explain that for people. What a brake marker means to you.
So some.
Sorry. Go ahead.
I'm coming down a straight. All right. I'll pick a spot, like let's say next to the pipe. Like if it has like a particular rock or a feature, a divot or whatever it is, I'm coming down the straight. I know every time I come around for that lap, that's where I'm going to brake for the corner. So that's a brake marker.
Yeah, I've been trying to work on that the last couple of years, but
yeah.
Technically, on a bigger racetrack, you'll see brake markers. For example, like at New Jersey Motorsports Park, going into turn one at either Thunderbolt or Lightning, you're going to see markers that are like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and basically telling your distance to corner entry. You know, which would be your first marker, because when we do track days with motorcycles and even cars, we lay out before the track day starts. We lay out the cone, so entry cone, an apex cone, and an exit cone. And Arturo is absolutely right, and that's why there's no like formal line that people, once you get to the A main, you will see everybody on that fast line. But in most cases, it's like that short course race yesterday at Trains and Lanes.
Yeah, I mean, maybe we need that. Tell Kevin next time. Can you put a big sign like, you got to brake now when you're going down the straightaway. Brake
Honestly,
now, please brake now.
Yeah. On that new straightaway, yeah. Honestly, I think
When you're
that's a
going
great
that
idea. I think that's a great idea. Like for these guys that do the clinic, to maybe like put cones up. Like here's your brake marker.
To help the novice guys out. Like
Yeah.
come flying down there.
Even the intermediates, I would say.
Yeah,
Like I mean,
sure.
I think if the experts need that's sort of a problem at that point.
100%.
Petrella, we got a moneymaker for rhythm, bro. You just got to sell like brake 46 RC brake now sign. That's $50. And just move to the next cup.
I'm in.
Patty Apex the turn here.
I'll sponsor that.
46 RC's already done. Dennis Brewer already came up with a nitro caddy. He's got some sort of system already. He's putting them in the garage right now.
But how funny would that be, right? No passing zone. Right?
Yeah, I mean,
stay here. Follow this line.
Yeah, I think that'd be a great idea for like clinics. Like like this is where you want to be, and like just repetition. Like do this over and over and over and over and over and over again.
Well, that's a really good idea, right? For like when Vin does his classes, whatever. Put some tape marks out there and remind people, hey, focus on this part of it. Don't focus on time. Focus on starting here,
hitting the marks.
Yeah, let's go. That's a really good idea.
It's especially important, I would say, for like 10 scale. It's going to be easier to teach on carpet. It's because you have a lot more grip and a lot more traction, and you can actually sit there and hit your points. You can put your car right where you want it. Whereas on dirt, you're sliding, so it's a little bit more inconsistent. Like motocross and dirt, they're kind of a little bit more alike.
Yeah. What was I going to say? One of the things I like too is apart from just like hitting or trying to stay same place for every turn and stuff like that at the track is if what I try to do is get behind like a faster person and see what they're doing and try to hold on to them for as long as I can to see like what they're doing, like to my ability.
Absolutely.
Who's very good at like doing that? Like shout out to Ruiz. Like when we're at critters and stuff like that, he'll say, "Come do some laps with me," and I'm like, "Let's do it." So I'll follow him, and then he'll follow me and like just be on me and like drive well with pressure. Drive well with pressure because I'm not going to mess up. But someone's behind you, so that helps you keep focus and stuff like that too. So that's one of the things that I do as well.
Quick thing just to add to that, just like motocross, you never really and on dirt racing, especially if it's like with Ruiz on dirt, so you never really want to follow exactly that line, because if somebody messes up, you don't want to be there to collect. You want to be set up, and so like in motocross, we teach not to follow each other, take a different line. So that's something that crosses over. Going back to what George was asking you before.
Yeah, back CowRC, if you're following me, you might want to take a different line because I'm probably going to mess it up.
Yeah.
Cool.
Going back to what I said, that's when someone's like super aggressive behind me, I'll let them go. And sure enough, 2 corners later, they mess up and I'm clear.
Yeah.
So Arturo, before we conclude your segment and get on to our other guest, is there any big other races that you're interested in going to that you haven't been to, or any other platforms that you're looking to try? Anything different or exciting that's on your forecast?
Yeah, I want to do one of those like AMSs or like one of those race time entertainment races. But one thing I did last year was I went out to Arizona to meet up with Tom Stober. And I raced Nitro Compound. I raced Adobe. I think I'm going to do that again this year. And even Hobby Action, just going to like those places. But I really want to do one of those AMSs or race time. I don't know which one. Everyone's saying PNB, AMS, just because of track time. I'd like to do that.
Sweet.
All right.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the ones I'd like to hit. Arturo, thanks for coming on the podcast. We definitely want you to hang out. We have Adam Ross, who's coming in for CowRC, that's going to talk about some product and answer some questions. And we're going to BS about all the great stuff that they have available for racers in the A-Scale program. But, dude, so nice of you to come on the podcast. Always great to race with. Always great to bullshit with at the track. You're very supportive and helpful, and you're a damn good guy to race against. Just don't get good in electric, bro. Don't get good.
Okay.
Too late. The ship's sailed already.
Focus
I
on
look
that.
forward to racing with you this coming season for sure.
Okay.
Very
Sounds
nice.
good.
Opening day rhythm outdoors.
Vin, over to you, mate.
Yeah. So, George already kind of started introducing, but we're going to have Adam Ross on to basically replace my segment and talk about all kinds of cool stuff from CowRC, as well as what he does in his 8-scale program as far as maintenance and, all that good stuff. So let's roll an ad, Toby.
Absolutely.
CowRC is your one-stop shop for all things RC maintenance, carrying everything you need to keep your vehicles looking good and performing at their best. From MooClean part and chassis wash that's gentle on your RC's components, to jet air blasters that eliminate the need to carry those large and noisy air compressors, CowRC has you covered. Even down to our convenient hide wipes that keep hands and other surfaces clean. Moose-Lick silicone, oil, and grease sprays, along with Utter Butter grease, and a variety of work mats are all staples of CowRC's wide range of products. Be sure to use the following discount code to save on your next purchase.
That's weird. Got cut off at the end.
Oh yeah.
What's up, Adam?
What's up, Adam?
Not too much, man. Listening to you guys chat about racing is such a relief, man. It's been such a long time. I'm excited to be on the podcast. Thanks for having me.
Oh, thanks for coming on, Adam. Appreciate it very much, buddy.
Yeah. So yeah, here in Arturo's like reminiscing about dirt bikes and stuff like that. That's kind of how I got my start too, man. And super cool to hear. I was the CR 125 as well, which is obviously a good bike in my opinion. But I also got into the R1s a little bit until the wife put the kibosh in that real quick.
Sweet. Yeah, no, I had a CR 125 as well. And Arturo, what kind of street bike did you have?
Ducati V4S.
Oh my
Ooh,
God.
VFR 750 right here, my man.
Oh, do you still have that, George?
No, I sold that and got a 95 Bronco. The kids came.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I still got the Bronco.
Right? Yeah. I wish I still had one bike at least, but we used to actually have an R1, and a group of guys would cross over on the Blue Water Bridge into Michigan, and then we would race back down to Detroit on I-96, and then we'd cross back over into Canada. Well, the cool thing about getting caught speeding in the States is you just had to pay cash and it didn't go on your insurance or your record. So I had videos of doing over 330 kilometers an hour on my R1, getting blown by on boosters and stuff like that. My wife saw the video, and that was the end of my racing career illegally. So
That's 180 miles an hour for those of you who can't compute.
There you go. Thank you. Yeah, the American conversion, right?
Thanks for
Did
that.
you Google that, George, or did you know?
No, I know.
AI.
Did you see my hands move?
Nope, it was good. Yeah, it was definitely a good time in my life, and I definitely appreciate what Arturo was talking about with the racing and how you can tie that into RC. Because man, doing the invisible speed, I'm a proponent of that as well, and it helped my kids level up because now I was able to do that with my kids. We kind of learned together, and I can't even catch my son anymore. It's ridiculous. So it's a good time.
Awesome. Yeah.
Hey, I have a first question right off the bat because I have one of your products, and
Just one?
No, I have one that I'm talking about, Mr. Smart,
Okay.
right now. So, it's the only product that I don't know what to do with, and all the other products I love and I use quite a lot. As a matter of fact, I got the pit mat right here in the back.
Love it.
Awesome
Nice.
for organizing, doing my wrenching on it. Dude, what is cow snot?
So other than my kids enjoying it, to the like obviously for obvious reasons, kids love the slime, right?
Snot.
But the best thing that I've used it for is cleaning my controller. So if you ever have it on your pit area during an event, especially since you went to AMS, you know that it can get dusty and all contaminated and stuff like that. If you just pull a little piece off and you dab it into like the switches and knobs on your radio, it will pull all the dirt and debris out of that, and you'll have a dialed looking clean RC controller. That is the best use for us racers anyways. I've seen other applications for it, but for racing, cleaning your controller is probably one of the best applications for it.
And then what can you do? Can you wash that off and put it back in the can, or you just
just that little bit that you pull off to use, I would just discard it, and then that way whatever you have left is in the can. Like, it's so cheap to get the cow snot that it's like a use it and abuse it type product, right? You don't want. I've seen people save it, but like honestly, like you're just using such a small little pull that you dab it into your switches, you put it into your wheel, you can get it into your screen and stuff like that. Just a little bit, right? And the first tip that I can tell you is that let it dry out a little bit, and it makes it a little bit easier to handle and use. And if you forget and dry it out a little too much, just a little eyedropper of water, it'll lubricate it for you, and you'll be right back to the standard product. But definitely one of those cool things. My wife has been using it to clean the keyboards and stuff like that, but that's not RC related. But definitely good on the controllers for sure.
Might use it in my car, like around the radio and like the gear stick knob and stuff like that, or it's always you can't get that piece of dog hair out.
You got to clean stuff out of your cassettes and your 8-track players there, George.
Oh, there you go. But honestly, the funny thing is, my kid is just starting to drive. She's got her own Subi now, and she stole my little CowRC cordless blaster, and she's using it to clean all the cup holders and all the little crevices and stuff like that, because it has a vacuum attachment. So basically, she now stole my CowRC little mini and uses it as her own personal vacuum. So I definitely have to check my pit bags before we go to the next event to make sure we have all the items in there, which is super cool. Very blessed to have them still in the hobby too. So
for sure.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So obviously you guys have tried some of the product, being an 8-scale thing. I'm super excited because lately I've been stuck on the crawler course, and this is a breath air for me. And obviously there's a few associated guys in here with Vinny and that. Have you tried the new graphite yet?
I have. I think it works well in a lot of different applications.
Yes.
And I actually have some sitting right here. And what's special about this, from what I hear, is that, like, because the microns on this are so small, it actually works really well in a bunch of different, not just the pillow balls. Like, a lot of people who are like, oh yeah, you want graphite and use the pencil and all that. This stuff works really well. And you almost want to like spray your pillow balls down and then assemble it, when you're assembling your car. And I like to use it that way. And I feel like it'll also over time kind of polish everything and let it break in really nice. Am I on the right track with that?
No, 100%. And I don't know how the associated works, but I think that they have a plastic insert that actually rides on the pillow ball. And if they do have that plastic insert, what the graphite does is it actually fills in any of the imperfection and porous material there, and it makes it a smoother contact surface. So there's less strain on your actual steering servo. So it makes it a way easier for you to actually maintain. And since it's a dry lubricant, any of the dirt or any of the debris will not stick to it. Because what I was using the ultra thin grease coating and thinking that was the cat's meow. But obviously you would have to clean it in between rounds. And I know Arturo was saying, like, yeah, you got to stay up on your maintenance. And I was really like, oh man, this is horrible, because not only did I have 2 kits for me, I had 2 kits for my son and then 2 kits for my daughter. So now I'm trying to maintain 6 kits in between rounds. It was like, wow, okay, we got to come up with something better. So now that we went to the ultrafine graphite coating, it has been a blessing because it doesn't attract any of the dirt, but you get maximum performance. Now, obviously, if you're not looking for maximum performance, you're looking for longevity, the ultra thin grease might be your jam, but I like to have maximum performance. So for me, I got to go with the graphite, of course.
I like the
So,
graphite.
Adam, let me ask you, because I'm using it also. I run the associated car, so when I rebuild my car, I like to take the knuckles. I take those, lay them out. I spray it in there. I have the pull balls off the car. I spray it on those, and I also spray the plastic insert. And it's amazing. I mean, you spray it, and by the time I go to the next piece, it's already dry. So I don't have to wait to assemble it. And
the evaporants that they put into this product are second to none. And I know that Vin was saying that it's micronized, and it is. It's not an automotive graphite. It's actually designed for RC products. So it is micronized, and you'll actually get better protectant in certain applications. Now, you guys are all racers, so you guys are looking for peak performance. So I can't steer you guys wrong with the graphite. And you'll see that obviously, since it dries so quickly with the evaporant, that you can do that in between rounds and be confident that you're going to be properly protected, because you don't want to have any failures when you're going out for the A main. Heck, you don't want to have it in a qualifier, especially you're at a big paid event. You invested a lot of your hard-earned money. You want to make sure that your maintenance program matches that investment, right?
I think it's good for the hinge pins too, like quick. If
100%.
Real dusty and you don't have time, let's say, to rip your hinge pins out before a main that's coming up, you just take it out, shoot it in the hinge pins quick. Like you said, dries real fast. And, if you had your air compressor, you blow out a lot of the dust, but, it was still a little rough in there. It just adds a little like slick coefficient, keeps things moving, especially when you need it.
Oh, yeah, no, it's a great idea. And what we've been testing is actually hitting it on all of the out drives and basically the center drivetrain. And I don't know if you guys seen the show that we did yesterday. I actually went into specifics on how we were doing it, and we were just hitting where the pins actually contact the out drives. So for our center drivetrain, we actually have floating dog bones. So having it on the pins, it actually reduces the wear on the cups themselves. So that's huge, because if you get that little groove in the out drives or in the
out drive
cups,
in the out drive. Yep.
Yeah, you'll actually get like a kind of like binding, and some binding is good, but you want to negate that as best as possible so you have a better flowing car. And obviously, this helps reduce that with friction and hard on the brakes, because when you are driving in full throttle, I heard Arturo's only 75%, but everybody else is probably full wood.
Only when he glues the trigger too much.
Yeah, and
just snaps it off.
Yeah, when you snap on the brakes, that's where you have that initial impact. And if you have a little bit of the graphite in between that impact, you're actually going to see the graphite wear out before it starts doing any damage to the pin or the cup itself. So it's a pretty cool product to help protect people that are hard on the throttle and brake too. So it's super cool. I've seen a huge benefit mostly on my son, because he drives it like he doesn't have to pay to fix it.
Hey, what about the lubricant that Arturo was talking about? The PF2 lubricant.
Oh, okay.
I think that's a big topic for bearings. Like Arturo was saying, is a huge benefit for like his nitro car clutch bearings. And I think that's huge right there. I raced nitro once. That was a nemesis one time.
Oh man.
Raced
So
once,
yeah,
clutch bell once.
Yeah, you're talking about the ultra thin oil. It's another product of the Moose Slick. We call it the yellow can here, just because I don't want my kids to mess it up. But yeah, it is definitely cool. That's the ultra thin oil with PTFE. And what we've been doing is we've actually been using it on our stock bearings. Before, I used to get like full ceramic bearings and try all this exotic stuff. And when I'm running nitro, basically we have nitro truggy is the only thing that my son runs, and me and my daughter run nitro buggy. So with that, because I limit them to a certain amount of classes because Dad can only maintain so much in between heats and all that. So definitely had to restrict them down a little bit. But with the PTFE ultra thin oil, what I was telling you guys about was basically on the clutch belt. All you guys are nitro guys. So what I'll do is I'll actually treat the bearings before I put them in my clutch belt. I'll slam them in. I'll use them for qualifying and practice. And basically those are leftovers from the previous race. And then what I'll do is I'll slap in a brand new set for the mains. I've only been in a couple 45-minute A mains, thanks to the Race Time Entertainment group and stuff like that, and racing in the States. But typically in Canada, we only have a half hour. So after the half hour main, while I'm putting my vehicle away to maintain it, what I'll do is I'll hit it with another coat of the PTFE ultralight oil. I'll inspect the bearings, make sure they're still good. And then at the next event, I'll use it for the practice and I'll use it for the qualifier. And then I'll switch to another new set for the mains just to be 100% confident, right? Because you don't want to have that failure in the mains, but it's always a good routine to kind of like maintain the clutch belt. Because, man, let's face it, man, you have that failure in one of your mains and you're just crushed.
Adam, how are you applying that? Are you like removing if it's a rubber seal bearing, are you removing the seal? Do you have to?
What I found was if you actually use the can with the proper nozzle, and obviously CowRC has these restrictor tubes that you can get. I don't know how good my camera is, but there's two different ones. There's high flow and there's low flow. I use the high flow, and if you see the foaming action, it actually helps penetrate even through the rubber seals. Now, for stop,
makes it easy for me. I like that. You're speaking my language.
Oh, I love it. But for stock applications, because we just happened to open a oval dirt track locally, and it's stock racing. They take the Traxxas modified. I can't call it the Mud Boss, but that's what everybody calls it over here. I don't know what you guys call it, but they take that. And since it's stock racing, I actually take all of the rubber seals off. And if you take an X-Acto knife and actually cut off any of the excess from the molding and stuff like that and get it true and spray it with the PTFE oil, slap that back on, you just eliminated 16 contact points that you could potentially have holding you up a couple tenths here and there. And it's massive for stock racing. For us 8-scale guys, I just hit it with a little bit of the PTFE with the seals on, because most of the time it's just for the rotational mass in the outdrives on the front and the rear. And basically the steering, I only do that, I'm going to say every weekend. Like obviously the steering bearings, I don't do in between rounds. It's just the ones that I have access to easily that I would re-lubricate, because if you want to have the impact, you want to at least give it a good 45 minutes for the ultra thin oil. If you have time to let it completely penetrate, the night before is even better. But obviously racing in between rounds, you take the advantages where you can get them.
Cool.
Heck yeah, man.
Makes it easy for me. And Arturo's showing his bearings over there before he's showing off how good his wheels spin. So
yeah. What I do is like when I break them down, like I'll pull all my bearings out. I'll put them in like a Ziploc bag, and I'll just go ham and let them sit overnight. Take them out and blow them off, and then put them in.
Oh, so you're getting the full effect then, because basically letting them saturate like that, the coating and the adhesion to the actual metal is second to none. And now I know that you guys got sent some samples. Even if you just do a few drops on a piece of cardboard, watch how much it actually absorbs into the cardboard. You guys will be amazed. Oh, it's crazy. It almost saturates the entire amount of cardboard with just a couple drops. The product just it is one of those products that kind of got me a little sour taste in my mouth, because I was a proponent of buying aftermarket bearings thinking that was the jam. And now I'm just saving the money buying this can, and you're good to go. You're off to the races.
Very cool.
What about that pit mat? So like that pit mat is so awesome. It's heavy duty. It's got that big magnetic sheet underneath it. I use it not just for like hobby stuff, but it's a great organizer, like in my garage when I'm not rebuilding my car in that area. It's got all these great little pockets, but It's cool. It's awesome. It's got the logo. But the great part about it, it's got that big magnet in the bottom, right? So your screws and everything don't go flying off if you hit it. Stuff doesn't roll too far, which is awesome.
Yeah. So in the shop, I have the magnetics right behind me. And honestly, the magnetics are an amazing product. But as a racer, the new Carbon series is the cat's meow. Like, there is no beating it. The portability, you can roll this thing up and bring it to any event you want. Throw it in an OGO bag. It fits perfectly. All these things make it an 8-scale racer's dream. Not only that, it actually has like the carbon fiber look to it. So who doesn't like carbon fiber? It has a perfect spot for a pit mat, which is a hardened pit mat. Now, I know that I got mine right here. And
so what are you saying? That you have a different mat than the heavy rubber mat with the magnetic feet under it?
No. I use the Carbon series mat, and I just put my pit board in here because if you don't have a hard pit board setup, you could be out, right? So if you have a wonky area and not a stable pit area, if you're using like your height tool or your caster camber and your droop gauges and stuff like that, if you don't have a solid surface, you're out to space, because a couple mil here and there is going to make a huge difference, right? So you might not be true to zero. Having the Carbon series with the insert, the magnetic insert is awesome when you're not using chemicals and you're actually wrenching on your kit. As soon as you're done, I just throw that pit board right on top of the magnetics. Not only does it protect my magnetics, but it gives me a good working surface to make sure that my setup and my preparedness for the next round is on point, right?
Does that fit in the black mat by any chance?
Yeah, perfectly, man. It's awesome.
Sweet.
And there's a whole bunch of aftermarket support for the CowRC Carbon Series pit mat. I don't want to plug anybody, but like if you look it up online, there's a couple cool carbon inserts that you can get to totally deck it out with a carbon proper fitting insert for the CowRC mat.
Nice.
And dude, I've seen some pit setups at 8-scale events. And they basically see me from Caltech and stuff like that. They're like, dude, come check out my pit mat. And I go there and I look, and I'm like, holy crap, man, that's better than mine. It's proper. And you know what? I love seeing like the different iterations, because I've even seen a couple at the Racetime Entertainment events, Mike Borelli and stuff like that has a custom painted pit spot inside his carbon mat, and man, does it looks proper. It matches the paint scheme and stuff like that, right? So it's cool to be able to customize. As you guys know, CowRC is all about customizing it for your own kind of scheme, right? So
you pretty much you set the standard, really, right? I mean, and
like that's why I love. Yeah, that's why I love the Carbon series, because the Carbon series is like a neutral, set your own theme to it, whereas like the magnetics and stuff like that, you actually have the different themes. Like obviously I have the green streak behind me, and I've been a huge fan of the green streak for a long time now, but you got like the Reaper, the Patriot, you got like different ones that you can try and match to your paint scheme. But with the Carbon series, you can just throw in whatever you want for an insert and go to the races. And I think having that personalization just takes it to the next level, right?
For sure.
Yeah, I mean, if you're Tom Petrello, right, and you want your body looking like stylish, right, with all those fancy colors, the blue and the orange and like that little touch of yellow and that little touch of white, everybody knows Tom's, right, because they're always going by. It's kind of hard to miss them, but you know, he likes.
He's always going by
I'm
us.
getting quiet, by the way. I'm shopping as we're talking. I know we got a code down the bottom here, so I unfortunately lost my pit mat in the fire, so I had to order another one anyway. So you guys keep talking. I'm gonna be shopping.
Yeah, that carbon fiber one is definitely good, and obviously for protecting your investment, they actually have the solder mat that fits inside the bigger Carbon series as well. And I don't know if you guys solder your own electronics. I'm guessing you. Yeah, look, Vinny's got it, but definitely one of those things to have in your stable. I always use the medium size for all my solder applications, but I do have the larger one. And what I found was for the larger one, we have the LiPo bags, and for the kids and stuff like that, we'll put the larger solder mat Then we'll put the lipo bags in, and we'll just have that second layer of security, because I've seen some lipos go up in my time in the hobby, and I want to make sure that when we roll up, we're running like a 35 foot camper, and with the tip outs and all that. So that's where our family stays. So we want to make sure we protect that, and we're super safe. So I'm a little paranoid with the lipo fire. So having that extra little bit of security is always a good thing, right?
Definitely.
Sure.
Yeah. And I don't know if you guys seen the temperature that these things can take, but my kid left a 950 like temperature solder iron on that for basically a 10-minute qualifier, 5-minute for marshalling, and then probably getting a hot dog on the way back, and it was still good. So
Nice.
definitely one of those things that you don't want to not have when you don't need it, and then need it when you don't have it. So you got to kind of protect your investment. My kids were super young when that happened. Now they're a little bit older. They're actually helping out in a productive way, because before they were helping out, and then I would have to actually go through their kit again just to make sure that all the screws and nuts were tight, right? Because kids will be kids.
For sure.
You got that right.
Adam, we got to talk about the system.
Yes.
And we probably should have started with that, but like I remember, like, speaking to kids when my boys were young, this is what we did, and it's one of the first things we learned. You know, when we started racing outdoors, 8 scale especially, and you're contending with all the dirt and everything else. So, please break it down for everyone, and let's hear about that.
Yeah, so obviously the first thing that you're going to look at is probably the parts and chassis wash. The parts and chassis wash is like one of the staples, and it's such an easy product to use. So there's the concentrate. That was one of the nice things that CowRC actually did. They went away from shipping water, because everybody knows shipping expenses are crazy right now. So instead of just shipping a pre-mix with the water already in it, they're just shipping the concentrate, and then you can mix it at your own leisure. Now, I'm not sure if any of you guys have tried the power wash or seen any of us demoing it, but we just throw in like a quarter concentrate, the rest water, mix it in with the power wash. And at 8 scale events, you can just hit the front clip and the rear clip with the power wash, and then just hit it with the turbo blaster. And that thing will come out pretty much 95% clean already if you pre-treated it with the Moose Slick. Now, the Moose Slick, the one that I'm referring to, is the green one, which is the silicone protectant. Yeah, Vinny's probably got that on lock. So the silicone protectant is one of the most important ones. So the silicone protectant is something that at the end of the day, once you have your kit completely torn apart and rebuilt and ready to put on the shelf for the next event, you hit that up with the silicone protectant. And by the time you bust that out at the next event, it will actually help prevent any of the mud, dirt, debris sticking to it. I learned from the crawlers that we racers don't really get dirty. Crawlers, holy crap, they brought us kits that like I didn't even think would run again. But for racers, if you properly apply the silicone to it ahead of time, give it the proper amount of time to cure, we say usually overnight, the next time you hit the track, you'll see a noticeable difference of the dirt that actually sticks to the plastic. Not only that, it makes the car and kit look brand spanking new, like you just rebuilt the whole kit.
It's good stuff.
It's one of the best ones. Now, another one that was an OG is the electronics cleaner. So that is the red can, and a lot of people didn't believe me when I told them they can actually spray it right onto their electronics. Please make sure your electronics are unplugged from any power sources, and obviously, like, you don't want to have them powered up. But if you have them off and unplugged and powered in your pit area, you can spray it right on, and the evaporant in the electronics cleaner is massive. So not only will it get rid of all of the dirt and debris off of your ESC and clean all your electronic components, it does amazing work in evaporating quickly, so you know you can be prepared in the next round. I recommend at least a half hour, especially if you have a porous or sometimes some of the ESCs have some matting underneath to avoid that big slam, especially 8-scale ESCs and stuff like that. So you want to make sure you still give it a little bit of time for the evaporant to work, but usually a half hour. But when you spray it on, you'll see it instantly starting to work with the evaporant, especially on plastic or hard surfaces. So most of the heat sinks for our 8 scales are the aluminum nature with a little bit of heatsink paste underneath, putting that on the circuit board. So for any of those electronics, we've had nothing but great success. And honestly, one of the things that I always tell everybody, if you spray it on a little Q-tip, you can put it in your connectors, because a lot of us 8-scale racers only run direct connect bullets. So sometimes the battery gets overlooked as a maintenance item as well. So it's funny, but like just cleaning your battery terminals will help prevent heat distribution in all of your electronics. So it's a big thing there as well.
Yeah, we've totally done that. That's our procedure. Sometimes in between, like between quals, we'll just clean them out and just make sure all the batteries are good to go, and even clean off the bullets with that. And it's good to. I actually really like. You have to tell everybody how to tune in to your show, because I watched last night, and I believe you took an entire ESC apart, and you were able to you had it apart, and I could not believe how much mud gets in the bottom of that sealed box that you think, but you took this thing apart, you cleaned it in no time.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, so obviously I'm a huge Tekin fan. I run all the Tekin electronics, but what I wanted to show off was what I do in the off season to put it away for the next season. So obviously I always check the solder points and stuff like that, but live on the show last night, what we did was we actually took it apart live. So I cracked the ESC case, and you guys know, like I'll clean my stuff, like maybe not as good as Arturo, but in between rounds, like I'll clean my stuff and make sure that it's well maintained in between rounds. But what always happens is the dirt and sediment, because you're running a fan on the 8-scale ESCs, because let's face it, we're beating on those electronics big time. Running 4S, like that's like a heavy load on any electronic system. The dirt will still find its way underneath of the electronics into the case. And when you take the jet blaster or an air compressor or whatever you have on hand, you're just blowing that dirt down into the case, and there's truly no way for it to get out of there. So it might look clean on the surface and on top, but the electronics cleaner, once you pull it apart, you guys see it on the show, I just hit it with the electronics cleaner right on the actual ESC, took the CowRC brush kit and just wiped it off in literally 2 minutes. And it came out where it looked like it was brand spanking new electronics. The circuit board looked brand spanking new, and it's such an easy thing to do. And then I just bolted it back together, and I'm going to get ready to solder it back into my kid's kit. And then we're ready for next season. And it feels like it's a brand new ESC now.
I think I took a shovel full of dirt out of my Tekin the last time I owned one.
Yeah. Like it's crazy, like how much dirt gets into the bottom of that case. And there's no way to like truly get it out. And nobody's really using any of the screws or anything like that to mount it. People I've seen using double-sided tape for it, shoe goo. I've seen everything but the screws being mounted to it, which is probably a good thing, because if you mount it hard to your chassis, that first big hit where you case that triple, man, I don't know, man. It might not like you anymore.
Had to, side note, not a Tekin hater, but I hate those Tekin case screws, that's for sure. How long did it take you to get those out and put those back in?
So I did it live on the show, and I almost stripped one live on the show. So I was freaking out a little bit. It's a star screwdriver. Come on, man. It's got to go to like the 0.5. Yeah. Not a fan either.
Like, at this point, if there was any improvement Tekin could have to their speed control, right? So their electronics they're good. They're a performer, no doubt, right? But
no doubt.
I just will not. I've spent probably thousands of dollars on Tekin ESCs over the years, but I've been a Hobby Wing fan probably for the last 5 now, and I will never go back And the primary reason is I cannot stand the teak and plastic case. Like it is that product has run its line. You know what I mean? Like the biggest improvement they could actually provide for the customer user.
Yeah, it's shitty. Even they went from the Gen 2 to the Gen 3. It's still just dog shit, unfortunately. I'm a Tegan guy too, but
yeah, I'm looking forward to the next generation, and I know that the Camels definitely have something in the works. I can't speak about it, but there's been a lot of testing with Lutz. I know you guys were trying to have him on the show, but there's something in the pipeline that you guys will be super excited about, and hopefully it matches the performance of the steering servos, because those new servos are just the cat's meow. I use them on basically all my kits, and I know you guys are Nitro guys. The response time on their speed controller and being able to set the different feelings for yourself is awesome. So especially with the Nitro finger and stuff like that, it made my game that much better having the adjustability via the Bluetooth, right? Because everybody wants to connect to their phone app and kind of adjust things. I know Hobbywing has that as well. So having that availability for your actual steering servo as well is just another cool feature. So I do hope that their new ESC has similar things. The case I don't like, the switch I don't like, and definitely think that there's some improvement opportunities there. And
stupid.
I threw in my 2 cents, so I don't know if Jim's going to listen to me at all, but definitely excited for what's in the future. I got a couple sneak peeks here and there, and super excited, and I can't wait because, man, they were the first ones to help me and my kids out back 12 years ago. And we've been with Tekin ever since. And being in Canada, we're super isolated. So to try and get support from Hobbywing and stuff like that, it's super difficult. And, oh, man, I don't even want to bring it up, but the tariff thing is just horrible trying to ship it back and forth now. So we got to try and do what we can do to negate any of those type deals, right?
We don't hit too many nerves with Toby on this podcast, but I love hitting him on occasion where it actually gets a good response out of Toby, and we get his true visceral feeling about.
You need a better case and a replaceable switch. That's it.
Hell yeah, let's do it. Hey.
I'd run Tegan for life. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah. So
Vinny.
Obviously, with all the 8-scale racers in here, one of the most important things and the biggest expense has got to be tires, right? And on the show last night, I basically took it through a quick process with our new tire wash, which also ships in a concentrate form. And I showed different ways that we can do it. I'm hoping for Christmas that I get the orange box. I don't know what you guys call it, but it's a new tire wash station that comes in an orange box that's mechanical, and it sprays and cleans your tires by itself. I don't know if you guys seen it, but I want that for Christmas. If you throw in the Moo Clean tire wash, man, I'm telling you, those tires will last so much longer. I didn't think that it was even possible, but it basically puts all the integral minerals and oils back into the wheel itself, and it treats it like it's brand new. Now, I've been testing it with the carpet muncher stuff that you guys were talking about there. So what it does for the carpet stuff is we actually have to dope our tires for the on-road carpet stuff, and the doping just really eats the tire a lot, softens it like ridiculously, which gives you that added grip. So for the 8-scale stuff, the only time I ever doped, I think, was at PMB, and that was because of a few of the pros were finding that if you dope a certain compound, that it actually was a huge benefit. Another thing that they were doing was tire warmers, which I never thought would come to 8-scale. And having the tire wash, it actually removes all of the contaminants of doping, whatever chemical you want to put on there. I'm not even going to name any of the chemicals, depending on what track you're associated with. Some actually have dedicated chemicals that they can use at their specific track. Any of the ones that you use, the tire clean actually takes that back out, rejuvenates the tire. And if you store it in a Ziploc baggie like we were showing, or if you have access to the tubes, definitely one of those things. There it is right there. Yeah. So the tire wash ships right there. Yeah. And it is one of those products that, like, definitely changed the game for my tire cleaning process. I used to just basically use like the parts and chassis wash or Simple Green or whatever, and just spray it on a brush and just try and rub it out and stuff like that. Now that we actually have a true to form tire wash, it has been amazing. And that kind of ties into the hide wipes as well. The hide wipes is one of those things that you can use to clean your electronic bodies and any of your nitro bodies. It gets rid of all of the oil that comes out of the exhaust. So with the hide wipes, not only can you use it to wash your kids' hands in between rounds when they get all muddy and stuff like that, it's non-toxic. So if you use it to wash your hands and your kids grab a burger or a hot dog or whatever, you're not worrying about them poisoning themselves. And the smell is not too bad at all. It's one of the better smelling products that they actually carry.
If you're at a track and you got to go to the porta john, can you use that?
Absolutely. Yeah. You know what? It might,
don't use the abrasive side though.
Yeah, there's two sides to it, so you want to make sure you use the smooth side on that one.
Toby might like that on his Huevos.
There you go.
That's awesome.
Carry on.
But yeah, no, they're definitely tying all the products in. You'll see benefits everywhere, and you'll see a couple crossover items, and it really depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking for full-on performance, obviously I will recommend something else. If you're looking for just like the protection and longevity and to reduce your maintenance, I would probably recommend something completely different. But obviously with the Udder Butter and stuff like that, I'm hoping you guys have actually tried them on your front and rear diffs, because as 8-scale racers, obviously we're not going to put it in the center at all. But one of the things that I've been using is the ultrasonic cleaner. They have two different sizes. I've been using the metal tub one a little bit more lately. And what I've been doing is I've been actually popping off my whole clutch system. I'm running the new 4-shoe from ProTech, and basically I can throw it right into the ultrasonic cleaner, the whole 4-shoe assembly, pull it out 10, 15 minutes later, and there it is right there. Yeah. And literally 15 minutes later, I have a brand new setup. And as you guys know, you might get a little bit of burr on each of the shoe on the outside. I just take my Dremel, hit it real quick on the outside just to give it that nice little chamfer again. And I almost have like a brand new clutch system just running it through the ultrasonic cleaner. And obviously it'll show if you have any issues with the clutch shoes themselves. So I've done it with the aluminum, and I've done it with the graphite one. No, it's not a graphite. I'm trying to think of what the other shoe is for the aluminum and carbon fiber, right?
Oh,
no.
Yeah. Yep.
Is it carbon fiber?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So both of them, and the parts and chassis wash hasn't done anything ill to them. So I've been doing it now for about 3 months. Obviously, we're at the end of the season here in Canada. We're getting ready to start shoveling snow. So, but I'm going to test it a little bit more next season. But definitely haven't had any issues with the clutch going back in, and just the fit and finish. And you can honestly see if there's any wear inside, because with the sonic cleaner, it's going to vibrate out any of the debris or contaminants that build up in it, and it just makes it function that much better. So I'm a huge proponent of that.
Those are awesome, man. I'm actually using my buddies doing some wrenching, like one night a week. We hang out and do some car repair, get ready for what's coming up after the winter season. Anyway, long story short, I'm running every single part of the car I disassembled through the ultrasonic cleaner.
Nice.
And coming out awesome. Using your products in there as well. It's coming out real clean. Plastics look great. Everything's super nice and clean. It's amazing how the ultrasonic works. It's really good. I really recommend it for somebody. And that's super cheap, $20 for an ultrasonic cleaner. It's awesome.
Yeah, it doesn't fit for just throwing it out there for the 8-scale races. It doesn't fit the front clip or the rear clip. But if you throw in like your shock package and stuff like that, or like what I was talking about, like the cleaning the diffs and stuff like that in between rounds, it's perfect for things like that. It's only an entry level kit, but definitely for, like you said, like for the price, it's a great entry level product to help make cleaning that much easier, because you basically turn it on, set it aside while you're wrenching on something else. By the time you're ready to put it back together, it's already cleaned it for you.
Sweet.
Yeah. So have you guys tried the green can, the silicone protectant?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now what did you guys think of what it did to your plastics after a weekend of beating on them?
Exactly what you ran through before. Prior to going out, I hit my car with the silicone. I think that was like, the day before going racing or something like that. And
Nice.
what I noticed was just with the air compressor, I could blow stuff off, and like 98% of the dirt and dust came right off the car, which was great. By the end of the day, it still needed, a little bit of a cleaning, but it was really good for just not having to clean the car with any type of liquid solution during the heats. Just hit it with the air blaster, and it was really good.
Heck yeah. No, it is one of those products that was a staple for me and the kids. And when done correctly, like you said, it just reduces your maintenance at the actual track. So it's good to hear that you guys had a good experience with it for sure.
Yeah, I really like how it repels a lot of dirt and stuff like that. And once you start using it and getting into the system, everything kind of complements each other, and then you start to really see the difference. So there, you have to remember to take each step, and make sure the silicone's on there, and then or the the mousse lick, and it has time to kind of get in there.
Well, if you give it the proper amount of time to cure, you're going to benefit the most, because if you spray it on at the track in between rounds, that's not enough time to let it cure, and you might actually attract more dirt to it. That's why I was telling all you guys, since you guys are racers, that the new, like obviously the graphite is a dry lubricant. So spraying that on to key items in your drivetrain and stuff like that won't attract the dirt, and it'll give you maximum performance, and it'll give you the protectant that you're looking for. The silicone is really a preventive maintenance thing that you have to do the night before, or basically the week before, like what George was saying. And then that way, when you get to the event, when you just use your air compressor or the blaster, it'll help maintain it throughout the race weekend. And then obviously at the end of the weekend, you'll still have to pull it apart and maintain it, but it'll keep you racing a lot quicker and less maintenance. So pretty darn cool.
Adam, I think ultimately CowRC has, a bunch of really good products for racers. And the application is, beyond just racing RC cars. Whether you're a hobbyist, you're working in your garage, you need some moose snot to clean out the dog hairs in your car, and on top of your radio application and stuff like that. For me, it's the silicone spray, it's the parts and chassis watch, and it's the graphite spray. And it's even the wipes, because I agree, I use them in the workshop, but it was great not having to wash my car at the track. I could just take a wipe, clean it off super quick.
Yeah.
We're hitting about 2 hours on the podcast. We try to keep it tight at that level.
Okay.
But I just wanted to say in general that, we really appreciate you and Heath's cooperation in the podcast and supporting us. We really appreciate that this year. We talk about your products because we use the products. We know a lot of guys out there in the field that are using them as well. And whether it's just one product or buying the suite of products, or let's say you're not buying any of the spray stuff, maybe it's just a pit mat you like, right? So even the waterproof grease you have, I do a bunch of RC boating as well. And I've seen a bunch of guys in the cross hobby actually use the waterproof grease for like flex shafts and stuff like that. So, thank you so much for educating everybody that's, watching the podcast and into the local RC community racing in the Northeast. And, you guys are dealing internationally. So it's not just here, it's across the US. And, I'm sure you guys are doing international business, but I know what it's like to start a business, keep it running, and be very competitive. So hats off to you guys for, having the creativity, coming out with good products, and more importantly, being really good ambassadors. So I appreciate the stuff that you guys gifted to us. We use it a lot, and can't be more appreciative. Thank you.
No, man, I appreciate being on the show. Thank you for having me. And like I said, man, when you guys want and you do the live, I know you have a Christmas special coming up in December. I'd love to jump on even for 5 minutes. We'll do a little giveaway and make sure we do something proper for all the A scale racers. Cause I think we got a little something up our sleeve that CowRC would love to donate to a 8 scale racer in your area.
That would be awesome. You are going to be required to wear a Santa hat.
Yeah, no problem, man. We got those in lock.
100%.
I think somebody pushed out last year and didn't wear a Santa hat. So we're going to have
Wasn't me.
I forgot it.
We're gonna have to do a little preparation.
Make it happen, man.
Yeah.
Toby, maybe I have my buddy Joe did the stitching and t-shirts. Maybe I buy some at Michael, some Santa hats, and do a Northeast RC podcast logo on the side of them.
There you go. Could happen.
See what we can do.
Yeah.
Anyway, man.
I also want to give a shout out to Heath Meshkow for supporting us. Heath has been. I actually get a lot of feedback from a lot of people that talk to him directly, and this guy will stop what he's doing, and he really cares. He'll show the support. So I mean, it's really good to see a good guy like that doing well with his business, and it makes it really easy to support. So thank you, Heath, for everything that you do for us, buddy. We appreciate it, and the RC community for that matter.
For sure.
Yeah, it's crazy. I just want to add one thing to Heath and what CowRC offers. I think it's one of the only products that you'll see online that offers 100% money back guarantee. So he puts his money where his mouth is, and it's amazing. And like you said, the customer support there is second to none. If you go to the website, it actually has his personal number right up on the main page, and you're only getting Heath. It's crazy, the customer support that he provides to everybody, not only team members, but any Joe Blow off the street is second to none.
Adam, when can we tune into your show?
So we're every other week, Sundays at 8 p.m. If you check out CowRC.com or the YouTube or the Instagram, we're on all 3 platforms, and we'd love to have you guys out and check us out. Basically, we just talk anything maintenance. You ask, we answer live on the show. So if you have questions or concerns about any of the product that we cover, we will do our best to make sure we hit you up on the show live. But
that's awesome.
Yeah,
now, what if somebody wants to join your team? Isn't there a video out there, or how do we go about doing that? Because I know there's a lot of guys out there that are interested.
Heck yeah. No, so the show is episode 7 on our show, and it's funny because we're up to episode 72. The best one to check out is show number 7, and we have Mike Panacchia, our recruiter, and he'll take you through every step that you have to do. And honestly, to get on the team is so super easy. All you have to do is go to the CowRC fan page and start posting how you use the product. And it just takes one banger post, and you'll get contacted, and it'll just kind of flow from there. But obviously, we want people that use the product, and we want people that are basically good for the hobby and that don't mind helping out others, because let's face it, this community's small and we got to help each other grow together. And with that, it doesn't get any better.
100%, my man. 100%. Love it.
Heck yeah.
Very cool. Awesome.
Sweet. Toby, got anything else?
No, not really. I mean, I've heard of the brand for many years, and I really appreciate you guys coming on board to help support the broadcast, and supply us with these awesome things. I use them every day. I wake up early, I go down in the man cave and rebuild my cars. I'm spraying stuff all over the place and buttering up my life. So
there you go.
Awesome. Thank you.
Hey, no problem, man.
Sweet. Well, this was episode number 35. And let's see, a little recap was talking about Rhythm Raceway. Tom had to take off. He had an obligation, but We're going to talk about that a little bit more. He's going to be open in 2 weeks. So check out some posts from Rhythm. Go down there and support. We'd really appreciate it. Vinny did some recapping on what was going on with CowRC. Toby told us a little bit about 46RC and what's going on in some of the other racing stuff. Well, not really, Toby. I'm just trying
Yeah,
to
let me butt in super quick. Every month I do a waffle to try and, I guess, subsidize what I'm doing with the 46RC broadcasts. So if you guys want to jump on board, you get a waffle ticket. It's like $20 for this month, November. You can win 12 sets of J Concepts tires.
Oh, yeah.
46RC, wheel scrubber, t-shirt, all the goodness. All the tires that you would run regionally, relapse, reflex, that kind of thing. Check it out. I've got something awesome lined up for December as well. I think there's like 30 tickets left. So try and get this banged out next week. So yeah, check it out. Carry on, George.
I'm even invested in that one.
That's right. Buy more tickets, George. Come on.
Okay, no doubt.
And you, Vin.
You got it.
I'll talk to the wife, see if I can squeak out.
Get it happen. Make it happen.
Anyway, y'all, we really appreciate you guys watching the podcast. It's been an awesome year. We got one more episode to go coming up next month. It is going to be a live episode. It's our Christmas one. We should have some shenanigans. You hear Toby say "carry on" in his wonderful British accent again, and lots of other great things for next month. But we really appreciate everybody watching, and thanks so much, CowRC, and we will check you guys out next month in the December episode. So check back,
subscribe, share. Thank you.
Bingo.
Thanks,
Share.
guys. Thanks, Adam.
Yeah, no problem.
Good seeing you, man.